New Hyundai or certified pre-owned? It's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com or genesisofalgonquin.com. Tom the Plumber. Service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber. Honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. And Daryl Barnes Photography for portraits, family and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Daryl Barnes Photography at darylbarnes.com.
Welcome back to the Jacobs High School gym. We have a big game about to tip off here between the South Elgin High School Storm and the Marian Central Hurricanes. Here just in time for tip-off, as that is Jake Jean Grego taking it for Marian Central. We've got a storm brewing here in the Jacobs High School gym as the Hurricanes are ready to face off against the Storm.
You know, you mentioned it. I didn't know you were going to go through with it.
I had to find a way to squeeze it in there, even though we came in a bit later than I expected to. Cal McDaniel with it for Marian Central. And dished it out to Michael Morris. Now that's Jason Lange with it. Looking for a lane, and he will get a whistle. I believe there was a foul called.
Just a little too tight a defense there, as usual. There's some contact. It's basketball. Contact's going to happen. Sometimes just a little too strong, and that draws the foul every time.
And South Elgin will inbound. That is Drew Swick with it. Now Kendis Wiley with it. And that shot for three lands by Drew Swick.
Drew Swick's one of those guys you want to watch out for. He scored 6 threes in a tourney, 18 points against Barrington. He averages 14 points per game, so it's definitely a guy you want to watch for.
As Cal McDonough of Marian Central airballs a three. And that is Jaden Ashby with it for a deep two, and that one's just overshot. And on the putback is Kendis Wiley. He can't quite get it done. Marian Central back the other way. It's Jake Giangrego with it to Christian Bettenker.
Bettenker's another guy I want to watch, a 6'5", 220-pound sophomore.
And that shot just rings out by Jake Giangrego. Christian Bettenker also leads the tournament in points as of the end of yesterday. 66 total points in the tournament. He'll look to add to that total today.
Yeah, he scored 29 against Jacobs, and he works inside a lot. 11 twos in that game. You know, he scored 19 against Rockford Jefferson, and he also scored 18 against Bartlett. So definitely a guy you don't want to have down low. He can punish you down there.
And just as you say it, Bettenker drives in, can't quite finish the play, and Brian Vestal will take it back the other way. And that one's stole by Marian Central. That's Bettenker in alone. He puts one up, and that one's just out as South Elgin takes it back quick the other way. Jaden Ashby with it, and that'll go to Vesta, to Swick. Swick a deep pass to Wiley. Wiley out to Josh Gens. Josh Gens' shot a bit too much as Cal McDonough takes it back the other way. And he puts that one up for two, and that one lands. That'll be Marian Central's first points of the game.
McDonough is another guy with height 6'3".
As that shot by Gens just goes wide. And Michael Morris will take it back. As Jean Grego's shot goes up, but we will get a whistle.
I believe that's a charge foul. Offensive fouls are usually, I would say, inexcusable in basketball. You cannot be fouling when you have the ball. You can't.
Now Swick with it. Swick has it again, back up for three, and that one's off the back of the rim. And on the rebound is Ashby. He'll dish it out, and that three lands. It's Brian Vesta with his first points of the game from three-point range. As Michael Morris with a deep pass out to Jason Lange. Lange drives in. And that one's stolen by Brian Vesta. Vesta taking it back the other way. He'll go up, and there's a foul call.
A charge foul there. You know, we talk about it all tournament. Standing tall and taking that charge is one of the hardest things you can do as a basketball player because the other guy's coming at you full speed usually, but sometimes with a knee up if he's going to go up for that layup. So taking that charge, it takes a lot out of you to do it.
It does, but it can really benefit your team at the end of the day. Morris with a deep pass to Jason Lange. Back to Morris. That is over to Gian Grego, and he will pass it to Bettenker, but we will get a whistle.
Just an average pushing foul there, a little too much contact on defense. What I can tell is it seems to me that the Storm play a really tight defensive game. They're a little more physical than other teams.
Play a bit more aggressive.
Right, when you're going against guys like Bettenker, it could help a lot.
Could help a lot, but it could also end you up in trouble in terms of fouls. They already have 3 in this game as there's a little scrum on the ground for the ball, and we get another whistle.
Yeah, jump ball, it's going to go to Marian Central on that one. Excuse me, it's going to go to the Storm. Wow, that was not too great on my part.
Josh Gens with the inbound pass. He'll get it to Swick. Big play there by Christian Bettenker. As we get a shot by Brian Vesta of South Elgin that does not quite land.
Yeah, South Elgin from the line is 60% in the tournament. That's one area of the game. More than like, you know, Marian Central looking at this pair up, they win in the game of free throws. 70.6% from the line, South Elgin, a measly 60%. I mean, you know, you're not really making that many, and you know, those free throws become very important as the game goes on, especially in a game as close as this one is right now. You have to be nearly perfect on the line.
As Vesta misses his first, line up for a second, and that one lands. 3-point game here, 7-4, Storm lead. As Jake Jean Grego takes it back, that is McNenia looking for a partner. It's past Bettenker's bit too much. Vesta got a hand on it. Deep pass to Jaden Ashby on the other side. And coming out of that is Gian Grego. That's Cal McNenia wide open, puts it up, and that one goes through. As South Elgin with another deep pass to Ashby. Ashby finds Swick. Swick to Vesta. Vesta up for 3. That one's off the rim. And Marian Central taking it back. McNenia driving in. He'll find Bettenker. And South Elgin with the steal. And they will get their hands on it. Jaden Ashby taking it back the other way. A deep pass out to, that was Vesta, and Swick up for 3, and that one goes through.
Good aggressive defense there on the Storm. Gets the turnover and some great passing. Finds Swick open for 3. He's a guy, big, good three-point shooter for his team. Definitely going to be important as the game goes on.
As that shot's up for 3, and that one does not land. That was Jason Lange on the shot. As Vesta will take it back for the Storm, and that pass, that shot for Ashby does not make it, and the rebound is going to be handled by Jake Jean Grego. Pass out to Bettenker. Bettenker underneath, looking for a place to go, and it will go up and in.
Yeah, good luck stopping the big man down there. All 220 pounds of him.
Josh Gens to Jaden Ashby. Ashby looking for a place to go. He'll find Swick. Swick, that's Gens up for 3, and he makes it. South Elgin liking the 3-ball earlier, and it's working off for him.
That's where you got to start switching up your defensive pairing. You know they're going to shoot the 3 a lot. Maybe install a 3-2 zone, kind of be shut down around the arc, and force South Elgin to go in.
And Bettenker left wide open out there, but he misses the putback. And South Elgin will come back the other way. That's Vesta. And gets a little tripped up, could not hold on to the ball there, and we will get a whistle. Foul on Bettenker. As it looks like we will get a brief timeout.
You're looking at South Elgin's plan right now. It's all about establishing themselves behind the arc. You know, in modern basketball, a lot of it is getting as many passes as you can around and then taking that 3-point shot. Because why drive in and take a pull-up jumper or even go inside, when you're going to have to go against 6'5" Christian Bettenker or 6'3" Cale McNania. you're going to have to struggle when you're going inside. You're going to need someone big. And looking at this team, at this South Elgin team, the one that comes to my mind is really Sean Harvey, 6'6".
This timeout sponsored by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com.
You really need, if you want to work inside as the Storm, you need to have someone big. And until they have, maybe you look at Michael Hankins, maybe he comes in off the bench. He's 6'6". Unless one of those guys comes in, you're really not going to really work inside because you don't have the height and the weight to go against Bettencourt and McThenia. As for the Hurricanes and Marian Central, you're going to need to figure a way to stop the three. Put that 3-2 zone in, make them go inside, force them to go against McThenia and Bettencourt, and I think you're going to have a good shot of slowing down their offensive play.
And it's working for them right now. The Storm's points come off of 4 threes, while Marian Central's comes off of 4 twos. So that's the difference in this game so far. As Swick with it. Pass out to Mason Montgomery. And that's deflected. That's McThenia going up and in. And McThenia has just been having a great game early here. Swick driving in. Nice little no-look pass out to Rocco Marzullo. And Swick up and in for 3. Another big-time 3 there by Drew Swick of South Elgin. It's his 3rd of the game already.
You still have to find a way to stop that 3 ball. It's all about that right now. See what kind of defense you're going to put in there because Swick's, shooting all over him right now.
As Jean Grego drives in with a pass out to McThenia, and he'll end up on the ground, and we will eventually get a whistle.
That is a jump ball as a few subs come in.
1:23 remaining in the first. The Storm lead the Hurricanes 16-10.
That's Frank Lavin, number 14 for Marian Central, coming on in for the Hurricanes.
And the inbound pass finds Luca Razzo, as now McThenia is with it. And he will find Bettencourt, who will dish it back. Or, I'm sorry, that's Bettencourt, who puts that one up for 2. That goes through.
So South Elgin has a little more height in the game now. They have Michael Hankins. I mentioned him in that timeout. You might see him trying to hold down the fort against Christian Bettencourt.
And that as we get another stoppage. 4 fouls apiece already. Very aggressive teams on both sides here. So there's a minute left in the first. Swick will carry it across. And he will find his man. There's a lot of passing there, and that one's intercepted by Dawson Yeji. Taking it back is Cal McThenia. That one's back out to McThenia, and up for 3. And that one is airmailed. As there is contact made, but that is with the ball, but that is out of bounds. McThenia is also a guy you want to watch from 3-point range. He's very dangerous from there. He's the biggest 3-point threat that Marian Central has so far in the tournament. So he's a big guy to watch there as well.
A guy who's in for the Storm, number 30, Rocco Marzullo, hit 4 threes off the bench against Prairie Ridge in the tournament, so he can shoot the 3 ball too.
As Swick's 3 lands. Another big-time 3 for Drew Swick. That is his 4th of the game.
He seemed to have hit that one from another area code.
He really did. As Bettencourt drives in, finds Dawson Yeji. Yeji out to Bettencourt. Bettencourt goes up, and that one lands. As the Storm will take it back the other way, Swick with it.
Bettencourt just out-muscle you.
That was a deep pass, and that comes a few rows up, almost to us over here.
I was ready. I was leaning over the table. I was going to catch that and throw it in. I could probably make a shot from up here. Put me in the
You
game.
stood up when that ball was coming this way.
I was ready.
You were ready. And a little bit of a fight for possession back there, as it will go out of bounds. And that will end the first quarter as the South Elgin Storm lead the Marian Central Hurricanes by a score of 19-12. And we will be right back after this short break. And this second quarter brought to you by Tom the Plumber. Tom the Plumber. Tom the Plumber Inc. is a family-owned and operating company committed to providing plumbing service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber, honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. We're back here for the second quarter here at Jacobs High School. And Patrick, what have you seen from both of these teams so far?
I'm seeing it is the game of the three-pointer. Drew Swick, he's hit 4 in the first quarter. Josh Gens on South Elgin also hit a 3, and same with Brian Vesta. It's all 3-point shots here for the Storm, plus 1 free throw made. So you're looking at Marian Central on the defensive side of the game. Stop the 3. You have to stop the 3. It's hard to go punch for a team that is consistently making 3-point shots while you're only working inside. Now, Logan, you mentioned Caleb McDaniel, he can make some threes as well, but this is not a big 3-point shooting team, the Hurricanes. So you're going to have to establish a good defensive 3-point stoppage defense. That way you can force South Elgin inside, and maybe you stop them there with Betancourt and McDaniel with their height and weight. As for their offense, I guess you got to keep going in. Eventually you have to make some threes, so.
As that one will be deflected out by Michael Morris of Marian Central, and the Storm will retain possession. Marzullo with a pass back to Swick. South Elgin look to regroup. Swick coming in, finds Marzullo. Marzullo up for 3, and that one lands. Another big-time 3. That's the story of the game for South Elgin.
Remember, he said 5 total threes in the tournament, Marzullo, and 4 off of the bench for against Prairie Ridge, so he can shoot the 3-ball too. This whole team can shoot the 3-ball, it seems.
Frank Lavin with it for Marian Central as Yeji dishes it out to Lavin out wide for 3, and that does not land. And Swick will take it back for South Elgin. And he will find Elias Cole-Williams. And Swick up for 3. And the rebound does not land. And Marian Central will take it back the other way. This is Bettinger. And just drives in himself and cannot finish off the play as South Elgin takes it back the other way. That's Elias Cole-Williams. And he will try and put it up, but it looks like there is a foul.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a charge foul as Elias Cole-Williams, you know, he just went and just decided to plow through even though the guy on the Hurricanes was set. So simple in the book, charge foul, easy call there.
As Cal McDaniel will take the inbound pass for Marian Central. That's over to Jake Giangrego. Deep pass out to Michael Morris, back to Giangrego. Back out to Morris. These two playing catch out here. Giangrego looks, pass out to Yeji behind the 3-point line. Out to McDaniel. McDaniel working. Finds Yeji. Finds Benker underneath. Benker will try and drive in, gets denied the shot. And it looks like that will be another foul call.
No, they're going to call it, I believe they're going to call it a jump ball. And it'll be Marian Central ball. My guess is that when, I believe that was that McDaniel who was going up for the shot?
It was Bettenker.
Bettenker was going up for it. Defender went and grabbed the ball mid-shot, and at that point, it's up to the referee's discretion to whether consider that a blocked shot or to let the game continue play or to stop it as a jump ball.
Marian Central get another shot here. Giangrego to Christian Bettenker. McDaniel working behind the arc. He will drive in, step back, drive back in, and you'll find Yeji before he goes out of bounds. Yeji's shot goes up and does not land. As South Elgin will take it back the other way. This is Mason Montgomery. Puts that one up and can't quite get the shot off. There were 2 Marian Central Hurricanes in the area there. And it looks like a little confusion here as this ball will go to Marian Central.
It seemed like Montgomery was trying to maneuver through traffic, and you know, going against bigger guys down low when you're 6'1" and against guys who are like 6'5", 6'4", it's gonna be a little harder to go through that.
As McDaniel drives in, and that one does not land, although we will get a whistle, and it looks like McDaniel will head to the line.
At some point, if South Elgin's continuing shooting the 3 ball, you're gonna I sound like a broken record at this point. You're going to need to establish some kind of defense, whether that be the 3-2 zone that I mentioned before, that stops South Elgin from shooting behind the arc. Let them go inside. You have the weight, you have the height to stop them down low. Force them to go in.
As McBenia puts in both of his free throws, makes this a 7-point game.
It's an 8-point game, actually.
8-point game, I'm sorry. My quick math failed me there. As that ball ends up on the ground and Morris just covers it.
It looks like Morris got hit by a player in the Storm as a reaching over the back.
It was Elias Cole
Penalty?
Williams
Yeah.
trying to get that ball back for him.
And South Elgin has put Marian Central in the bonus. As you know, after 7 fouls, it is the 1-and-1 bonus, meaning if you make the first free throw, you have a shot at the second. If you missed the first, it's a live ball.
And Morris will miss the first. And Yeji tries to regain possession, but it ultimately goes out of bounds. And it will be the Storm's ball. As Swick takes it up. Pass out to Vesta. Vesta underneath. That shot is up and through. That was Michael Hankins. Big man for South Elgin.
Yeah, that's just a game of height difference there. He just towers over, especially with his long arms. He's able to get the ball closer to the hoop, and it's a lot harder to stop that when you're that big.
And Bettenker comes in underneath, and his shot does not land. Morris and Gian Grego, when they're inbounding, love to play catch back and forth. That's one of the things they've done on every inbound play so far. And Bettenker will be sent to the line. His first free throw jumps in.
This will be a standard 2 free throw play here due to Bencourt being fouled when he went up for the shot.
And he makes his first.
As Josh Gens comes in for Rocco Marzullo.
5 minutes remaining in the half. Storm lead 24-15. And make that 16. As Bettenker makes the second free throw. And Swick with the pass out to Vesta. Vesta crosses center. And Bettenker with the interception. He will take it back. Put it up for Gian Grego. Puts that one up. Can't land. And McDenny's rebound doesn't land either. But McDenny steals it back. Gian Grego's shot misses. And South Elgin will come back the other way.
It's a lot of
Swick
collapse.
for 3. And that does not land.
A lot of collapse on the offensive play here by
Swick with the interception on Bettenker's pass. Vesta up for 3. That one's off the back of the rim. As there's a little bit of contact for the ball, and we will get a stoppage.
Yeah, it'll be on the ground. As I said earlier, a lot of just offensive, either. I'm thinking of a word here. I don't want to say the term. I'm going to say mental mistake or brain fart. If you want to use that term.
Gaff.
Yes.
Gaffs.
And they just can't seem, whether it's throwing errant passes, not getting, finishing down low, and that's going to come back and hurt them.
As Bettenker's shot comes up and doesn't connect. Montgomery back the other way. Swick in open, puts it up, and that one's through. And the Storm will extend their lead to 10 points as they lead Marian Central by a score of 26-16, and we will get a timeout on the court. Marian Central with the timeout. And we've seen tons of it today. This timeout sponsored by Darryl Barnes Photography for portraits, family and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Darryl Barnes Photography at darrylbarnes.com. Patrick, we've seen a lot of it today. You've been talking a lot about the 3-ball for South Elgin. If you're Marian Central, how do you defend against all their dangerous 3-point shooters?
Guard out, either go into man-to-man coverage or install that 3-2 zone, defend around the arc, force him inside. Drew Swick and Michael Hankins are the only inside baskets scored for the Storm. So whether you stop them outside, they have to work inside, and that's how you get on some turnovers. But also, as for Marian Central, you need to capitalize on turnovers. They have yet to do it at all in this game, really, and they can't seem to finish those layups and throwing up errant passes. They just need to settle down a little bit. It's a 10-point game. You can easily come back from this and just establish a good offensive possession.
And Gene Grego will drive in, puts that one up, and that one goes.
A little more patience, you get plays like that. Pass the ball around a little bit. You don't have to do it all on your own.
As Vesta with it for South Elgin. Swick driving in, puts that one up, and that one does not connect. We will get a whistle.
Seems like Swick got hit in the eye or close to the eye as he's grabbing his eyes. Yes, he's grabbing his eyes. He's a little around. I don't even know what kind of term I'm trying to go on here. He's grabbing his face. There we go.
And we will have another timeout. 3:33 left in the half. South Elgin leads 26-18. And this timeout brought to you by our season sponsor, the Bear Family McDonald's. Proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 30 area McDonald's restaurants today. Seeing a very aggressive game on both sides. South Elgin currently has 8 fouls and Marian Central has 6. So what are you seeing defensively from both of these teams? What do you like? What do you not like?
Looking over at Marian Central, I don't like how they're really stopping the three. They haven't really tried to stop it yet, and they seem to be falling for a lot of moves down low. As for South Elgin, I'd say they're doing a fairly good job right now. They're not, doing costly penalties. Yes, they have 8 in the game so far, at least 8 in this half, and they've put Marian Central into the bonus. But I would not say they're doing a bad job. They're holding, Betancourt has only got 4 points. They're holding McDania. He's got 6 points. So they're holding those guys to minimums, which is what you're supposed to do to win this game, because those are the 2 big players for this Hurricanes team. As you said, Logan Betancourt led the tournament in points as of this morning, I'm going to say. As of this morning, he led the tournament in points. So causing him to not have as much action down low, playing some tight defense against him on his layups or when he's trying to muscle you down low, is really paying off for this Storm team.
Betancourt with 6 points in this half, McDania with 10. Those are the big producers for Marian Central so far, as Swick will line up for free throws.
I did not look over at your score sheet and saw the free throws, but I was just counting on basis of driving in, which will be my excuse for not looking correctly at your score sheet.
And Swick will make his first free throw. And his second one is up and out. And Betancourt will take it back the other way for Marian Central. A great play there by South Elgin. That was Jaden Ashby who deflected it out of the way of McDania. Pass by Jason Lange. And Vesta will inbound it for South Elgin.
As refs were talking, I thought it could have sworn it went off of Ashby. I don't understand why it would be South Elgin ball in that case.
You're right, it looked like Ashby definitely got a hand on it, and that's what they will change. It will be Marian Central inbound.
They can't call the challenge booth on this one.
Jason Lange will inbound for Marian Central. As that one's deflected by Wiley, South Elgin will regroup. Swig with a deep pass out to Gens, and Gens can't quite handle it. So come back the other way is Marian Central, and that is up and good. That was Luca Rasso with his first points of the game.
As I said in the timeout, capitalizing on turnovers, and they really did a good job there.
And that shot is up for 3 for Swick, and that one does not land. Betancourt taking it back for Marian Central. And he puts that one up, and that one falls wide as Ashby coming in hot. He puts that one up, and that one doesn't land. And McDaniel's pass for Betancourt is a little out of his reach. He had him wide open if he hit him clean. But they will look to regroup. Betancourt drives in, puts a shot up, and that one will not land. As he puts another one up, and that one will land. That pass there by Razzo set up Betancourt for another 2-point play.
I know he has 8 points in the game, but he seems to be trying to do a little bit too much on his own.
Wiley puts one up, and looks like we will get a foul called on Betancourt.
Well, whether that's, driving in and, driving into two guys and throwing up crazy layups, underhand layups, you don't have to do it all on your own. That's just why basketball is a team sport. You spread the ball around, you get the ball to McDaniel, you get the ball to any other Jan Greco when he's out there. Spread the wealth a little bit. You don't have to do it all on your own.
And Marian Central are going to find themselves trailing quite quickly in this game. Bettenker continues to try and do it all himself, although he will sit for a minute and get a breather. Dawson Yeji comes into the game for the Hurricanes. Wiley missed his first free throw and will make this one. And McDaniel will inbound it. That's Michael Morris to Luca Razzo, back to Morris. Morris with a deep pass to McDaniel. McDaniel puts it up for three, and that one's off the rim. And we will get a whistle. You can see Marian Central trying to get that three ball going. Their best three-point shooter is McDaniel, and he could not put that one through, but they're trying to get it through. They need to find a way to catch up to South Elgin here, as Swick will take it back. He'll pass to Vesta. Vesta back to Swick. And he will find Ashby. Swick, Vesta. Vesta over to Gens. Gens up to Wiley underneath. And that ball bounced around a little bit before Vesta finally takes it, but can't handle it cleanly. And that is Luca Rosso taking it back the other way. Now McDaniel with it. He will drive in and puts that one up. And it's through.
That was a good, nice turn around fade shot there by McDaniel. He can shoot down low, he can work inside, and really, I had it in my notes, he can shoot the three ball too. So he works all over the place for this offense.
As Ashby puts it up for three, and that one lands. And we will get a timeout after that big time play by South Elgin. They currently lead 31-24 with 1 minute 16 left in the half. And this timeout sponsored by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com. Well, Patrick, only a 7-point game so far. It feels like it's a lot more, though. It feels like South Elgin's been dominating for major portions of this game.
They really have been, and it's really just been around the arc. They've shot nearly every one of their shots has been behind the arc. The only two that have made inside points is Drew Swick and Michael Hankins. Hankins got it off of a rebound, and Swick drove in on a layup. Now, there's one part of the game looking at Marian Central, and that's grabbing rebounds. I looked and saw Dawson Yegi. He kept passing it with his hands instead of going up and grabbing with two hands. This is not volleyball. You need to grab the ball, and once you grab it, you secure it, and then you get a nice possession for your team. You can't be passing it around and punching it out of the air into another teammate, because you can't rely on them to know it's going to come to them.
As Yeji takes that one and deep pass out to McDaniel. McDaniel looking to create something behind the arc. And he will drive in, puts that one up open, and that one lands. And with 53 seconds left, South Elgin will take it back the other way. That's Gens with it. Over to Swick. Swick up for three, and that one rings out. As McDaniel taking it back the other way, coming in hot for Marian Central and puts that one in. McDaniel had been the best player on Marian Central all day long. And Kendis Wiley, a little miscommunication there as Marian Central will take it back. And the shot is missed, and McDaniel will take the rebound.
We'll see what they do. They have 20 seconds left. I don't know if they're going to try to hold it for that last shot, and it looks like they might.
McDaniel will hold on to it. 15 seconds on the clock as Razzo takes it. To Dawson Yeji, 9 seconds. Clock running out here. McDaniel looking for a lane, three.
He's got to shoot it.
And last tick of the clock, McDaniel's shot goes up and does not land. Airmailed it just a little bit too far to the left, and that will end the half here. Only a 3-point game so far. South Elgin Storm lead the Marian Central Hurricanes by a score of 31-28. That's it for us for the first half here, and we will be back for a second half of basketball, I'm sorry, right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, welcome to the Bear Family McDonald's. Thank you.
Over. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
And we're back at Jacobs High School for another half of basketball here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. Don't forget, this game brought to you by our season sponsor, the Bear Family McDonald's, proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 30 area McDonald's restaurants today. And Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com. Well, Patrick, we had a very entertaining first half here. What are you looking to see from Marian Central in the second half, trailing by 3?
Well, I'm going to expect them to continue giving the ball to Cale McTherian. Excuse me, McThenia. Excuse me. Cale McThenia has been the heart and soul of that offense this past half. He scored 16 points in the half, all from down low. Made, I believe, he made both of his free throws in the first quarter. So keep giving the ball down low. It's working. As for defense, they held. This is going to sound weird. They only held South Elgin to 2 made three-pointers in the second quarter, compared to, as I look at my sheet here, 6 in the first quarter. So clearly they're working over behind the arc now. Whether or not they're continuing into the second half remains to be seen. So let's see what they do as the game goes on.
Yeah, you heard it from my trusted friend here, up here with me, as Vesta takes a shot for 2, and that'll be the first points of the half.
That's Vesta's 6th point of the game. He scored 4 of his points in the first quarter and scored 0 in the second.
And Lange taking for Marian Central, and that is McDania who loses the ball. And Wiley and Vesta will take it back, although we will get a whistle. Looks like the ball will go back to Marian Central.
It was a weird kind of play because Vesta had the ball, and he was stuck in front of him was McThenia, and the ball got stuck on his back, and he started running with it, which qualifies as a travel. As weird as that is, it's a travel.
Well, Benker with it now behind the arc, over to McDania. McDania looking to create something. Pass out to Lange. Lange to Morris. And that's Bettenker to McDania. McDania driving in, finds the lane, puts it up, and that one's out. And now it'll go out of bounds, and it will be ruled Marian Central's ball once again.
That was a good...
Vesta was the last one to touch.
Yeah, that was a good move by Gian Greco. He threw it off of a Storm player, off of the leg, and it went out of bounds, and was able to stay Hurricanes ball, but...
That, as Bettenker's pass goes way out of the wheelhouse of Jason Lange. Not sure where he thought Lange was, but it was different than where we thought he was.
He was not there.
It was definitely not where he was.
Errant passes will kill you on this game, so keep an eye out on that.
Gens with the behind the arc. Nice little bounce pass underneath to Wiley. And that'll be intercepted by Bettenker. He'll take it back. And to Morris, to Gian Grego, to Bettenker, puts it up, and that one's in. They had about 3 guys underneath the rim there. One of them was bound to put it in.
Good ball movement there. A little out of control at first, but it worked.
As Swick's 3 is drained.
That's his 18th point of the game already.
He is on fire today, as Gian Grego almost puts a shot up, but nothing happens. And looks like it will be someone's ball, but no one really knows who at the moment. South Elgin's ball.
There was a weird play there. I think it was Vesta that knocked the ball out of the ref's hands. I believe the ref gave him a warning and said, hey, don't do that again or else you're going to be penalized for it. That's the first I've seen of that ever, so.
Gian Grego looked like he was arguing something on that play, as Gens's 3 bounces outside. And Ashby will take it, and Gian Grego fights for it, but cannot get his hands on it. And South Elgin will inbound. Jaden Ashby on the inbound pass. He'll find Swick. Swick will reset. He'll come in, finds Ashby wide open for 3. And that one just goes out. I thought that was going in for a second.
That's going to be a foul there by Kendis Wiley. It seemed like he had a little contact with, I can't remember who that was, but it hit him in the face. Guaranteed foul nearly every time that the refs are able to see it.
As Jason Lange with the inbound pass to Gian Grego, to Morris. And that pass a little too hot to handle for Jason Lange. Another errant pass that was out of his wheelhouse.
That's some good defense by the Storm. They're starting to play a little bit more press, and that's going to force a team that already makes a lot of errant throws to make even more. So Marian Central's got to calm down a little bit and take it a little slow, no matter how hard that might be with the press.
Gens trying to create something. He'll get it to Wiley behind the arc. Swick to Ashby, to Vesta. Back to Ashby. Ashby looking in between the legs of the Marian Central defender. He'll find Swick, but that doesn't matter. And now McDenia comes up on a breakaway and puts that one through.
18 points for him, too. It's a battle between him and Swick as to who can score the most.
Gens puts one up, and that one's off the side of the rim. And Wiley picks up the rebound and puts that one through.
A nice and one call there.
As Wiley will go to the free throw line.
You know, I mentioned it before. Grab the ball on rebounds. Again, there was a lot of tipping going on, and Wiley came up with it when he actually went out and got it.
As his free throw does not land off the front of the rim. And Morris will put that one up for three, and airmails that one. As Giangrego will try to save it, but cannot do so.
I understand you're going to need to get that three ball working. You're only down 6. It's not panic time yet. You have a whole nother quarter to go, a whole another quarter and a half to go. So you're not really working behind the arc yet. It's okay to take a few shots there. That's why I'm not too, mad about that play, because it makes sense.
They're still trying to play to their strengths at the moment. As Gens takes a shot from 3, and that one will not land, as Lange taking it back the other way. Two, that is Morris. Back to Lange. Lange underneath to Bettenker, and he'll put one up, and then.
It's good play by Benkar. He put all 220 pounds into that one, just muscled Wiley back and just took him to town.
And Gens begins to start making a play as we get a whistle, and it will be an inbound pass for the Storm. Only a 4-point game here. Marian Central with plenty of time to fight back. 4:28 left in the third quarter. The Storm leads 38-34. And that's Swick. Finds Ashby to Vesta. Back to Ashby. Ashby underneath to Wiley. Wiley gets it to Gens. Over to Swick for 3, and that one's just short. As South Elgin will keep it in, but Marian Central gets their hands on it. That's Luca Razzo to Morris. To Giangrego. Giangrego
made the shot, but a foul was called early.
The shot does not count. And
foul on Josh Gens.
Marian Central will get a chance to inbound. And Bettenker has it behind the arc. He'll find Morris. Morris driving in and cannot put that one in, as Gens with a deep pass over to Ashby. Ashby to Wiley underneath, and Wiley puts that one through. Extends South Elgin's lead to 6. As Bettenker comes back from Marian Central and goes coast to coast. He'll put it in himself and cannot finish the play. Bettenker powered through in there and tried to put it up himself, but just could not connect.
Yeah, he ran into 2 red jerseys. So whether or not you agree with him going with it, at least he drew the foul. So that means he'll go to the line, he'll get 2 shots, and maybe, put this into a 4-point game rather than a 6.
And we will get we will get a timeout here on the court. Patrick, what have you seen in the third quarter? What have you liked from both of these teams? What have you not liked?
I've liked how South Elgin's working a little more inside. They're getting the ball down to Kenneth Wiley. He's big, 6'5", 218-pounder. He can work down low. He can out-muscle even Bettenker sometimes. So throwing over to him is just as good as taking a 3 and really working the ball inside. It's really going to put them extending their lead and keeping it somewhat not close, but not an outreach yet.
And this timeout brought to you by Tom the Plumber. Tom the Plumber Inc. is a family-owned and operated company committed to providing plumbing service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber, honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. Still a very close one here in the third quarter. 3:37 left. South Elgin leads 42-34. What do you need to see Marian Central do to get back into this one, Patrick?
You got to keep working inside. South Elgin likes to foul. We saw a lot of contact in that first half. Marian Central was in the bonus for a majority of that second quarter. So keep driving in, draw those fouls, go to the line. You're beating them on the line, even though you're beating only by 10%. Marian, a 70.6% free throw shooting team. take your chances on the line. You don't need to throw prayers yet up behind the arc. The only person I can really think of that can shoot those threes is Caleb McDaniel, who's been the heart and soul of that offense today. But don't force any threes. Keep working in, draw the fouls, and go to the line.
As Bettenker will make his first free throw. It's been perfect from behind the arc today, 3 for 3. And he will line up for a second one. And he makes that one. So he'll remain perfect on the day. Now it'll be 36 to 40. As Swick coming in quick, and nothing comes to that play.
Looks like it went out of bounds on Gian Grego. I saw him, he tried to get his feet ready to take the charge, but Swick was like, yeah, I'll just go around you.
And that's exactly what he did. And Montgomery now playing catch with Rocco Marzullo, as Marzullo's shot goes up for 3, and that one rings out. As Swick takes it for 3 this time, and that one's off the front of the rim. Montgomery with the rebound. He'll try to find Marzullo, but that pass is a little too hot to handle. Looked like Marian Central may have gotten a piece of it. Marian Central will inbound.
Good, even though they did not score on that possession, it was good offensive rebounding and give your team a couple more chances to score points. Offensive rebounds, as we've said, is the key to winning this game, giving your team as much time with the ball as you can.
And McDonough puts one up and cannot connect. And Mason Montgomery taking it back the other way for South Elgin. And a pass to Marzullo, but that one's a little errant off the top of his hand.
Just a little too much mustard on that toss there.
Just a little bit too much. And Bettinger taking it. And he'll drive in, puts that one up, and does not connect.
Again,
and
don't try to do it all on your own.
Marzullo with it for South Elgin. Swick. Swick looking for an opening. He'll go back to Marzullo. Marzullo up for 3, and that one's off the back of the rim. And Williams with it over to Montgomery. Montgomery up for 3, and that one's airmailed. As Bettenker take it back the other way. That's Bettenker with it once again. Puts it up, and that one's through.
South Elgin needs to start working the ball more inside. The three-pointer's not really working for him in the last few minutes. They've been cold from behind the arc. So they need to start working it. Give Hankins down low the ball. He's big. He can shoot it low, so see what he can do.
Just as you say it, Hankins goes up underneath, and his shot does not connect, but we will get a stoppage, and it looks like Hankins will go to the line. Two-point game here as the Storm lead the Hurricanes 40-38 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
You know, good thing, a little story here about Hankins. I played baseball with all three of his older brothers. One I played at Fall League in. He's my brother's age, so I believe he's a couple years old. Yeah, a couple years older than me. I played with Chris and Ryan Hankins in high school basketball back in the day. So I know I'm a little bit familiar with this family. I've had some history with them.
You have indeed. As we mentioned earlier on in the game, South Elgin, our very own alma mater.
Yes, proud graduates, class of 2018, all those many years ago. Only 3 years out, but it feels like an eternity ago.
Feels like it's been a long time. We're getting old. And Hankins' second free throw is made. They'll make it a 3-point game. As Gian Grego with it, he will find Razzo. Razzo drives in, finds Yeji open for 3, and that one's just off. Swick killing himself, or hitting himself there. He knew that he was gonna try and get it in bounds, but he just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, he dribbled it on the line, and simple turnover, as out of bounds as that.
He looked very upset with himself once the whistle blew. As Gian Grego will dish it out to Razzo. And that's McDonough goes up. And that one's just behind the backboard as Marian Central will keep it in, but South Elgin gets possession as Swick is mauled when trying to take the shot.
I'm going to keep saying this about Marian Central. You have 4 other guys out there. There is no need to drive inside and force something. You're down 3. It's not do or die time yet. You have another quarter to play. There is no need to play hero right now. Dish the ball around, work around, give your other players a chance with the ball. There is no need to continue driving in and forcing terrible shots.
As Swick makes his first free throw. Game has felt like Marian Central could be trailing by a lot more than they are right now. They're fortunate to be in the situation they are.
It's a lot of just good defense of holding South Elgin out of their, their main source of offense, the three-point ball.
And Swick's second free throw goes through as there's a bit of an errant pass there, and the ball will go out of bounds, and the Storm will regain possession. And Swick with it
It's head coach Charles Walsh yelling at his players out there.
to Montgomery, puts it up for Hankins. Hankins with the pass to Williams, but there was a little bit too much traffic there. And Marian Central get a chance to inbound it.
With this possession, I'd like to see the Hurricanes take it a little bit slow. No errant passes, relax a little bit, work a good offensive play.
And Yeji does not take your advice and takes a shot for deep two. And it does not land. And Marian Central will get the ball back as South Elgin started to speed back over to their end. And Gene Grego, that is Lane, puts one up and in.
The good way to drive in and draw that and one.
We get the and one free throw. Crucial in a game like this that's so close. Any point you can get is going to be very beneficial. Has a chance to make this a 2-point game here. That basket was Lange's only points of the game so far.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
And that one will land. And we have a 2-point game here. As South Elgin working out of bounds, and looks like that'll be another inbound pass for South Elgin, much to the chagrin of Marian Central. And Williams looking for a place to go. He'll find Montgomery. Montgomery to Hankins underneath, and he finds pay dirt there. As Marian Central drives back, and that pass by Razzo to Lane, or I'm sorry, that was Lavin. Just a bit too much to handle.
That's what you say, dribbling out of control, and again, forcing an unnecessary pass. Slow it down a little bit. You have time.
And Swick with it for South Elgin, 25 seconds left in the quarter. Montgomery back to Swick. Swick to Marzullo, back to Swick, and back to Montgomery. Montgomery has it again.
Looks like they're going to hold it for that last shot.
That's what it looks like. Montgomery, with 10 seconds left. Higgins underneath finds Marzullo open for three, and that one's off the rim, and it will be out of bounds. And South Elgin will have 2.7 seconds to do something here on offense to extend their lead before the end of the third. And Swick's pass will go up for Montgomery, and the prayer of a shot that was Swick, and it almost landed. It came very, very close, but we go to the end of the third quarter with a score of South Elgin 45, Marian Central 41. We will be right back for the fourth quarter after a short break.
What makes me most proud of our restaurants is our people. Our people who come in and work for us every single day. We try to create an atmosphere of family, an atmosphere of warmth, and an atmosphere of compassion.
And we are back with some fourth quarter action here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. Fourth quarter action sponsored by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofelgonquin.com. Now, Patrick, a real tight one here. South Elgin only leads by 4. What do you want to see them do to hold on to this lead?
Keep playing tight defense, because their defense is forcing Marian Central to make errant passes and unnecessary shots. As they continue, Bencourt and McThania, they continue to try to do everything on their own. It's not only them, too. Other players that are out there as well are driving in, like Morris. He keeps continuing to drive in on his own, right into 3 red jerseys or 2 red jerseys. Double team the guy with the ball. And what history has shown, at least in this game, is that the Hurricanes will continue trying to force shots. That way you get the ball on a turnover or an offensive foul or an errant pass that goes way into the bleachers. Keep playing tight defense. That's what I'm expecting them to do. And
when you don't have the 3 ball and you're very one-dimensional, it's very easy for South Elgin to continue to stop when you drive underneath. As Betancourt drives in. And McThania looking for a lane. He will find Gene Grego underneath. Gene Grego's shot lands.
It's a nice turnaround fade there. Nice shot. Brings it down to a 2-point lead for South Elgin.
As Montgomery drives in for South Elgin, they look to respond, and that pass is a little out of Marzullo's way.
That was about 5 to 10 feet to his left.
This is the chance for Marian Central to knot this one up, as Gene Grego passes to Betancourt. Betancourt to Lange to McThania. McThania looking for a place to go. He'll find Lange underneath to Betancourt. Betancourt puts that one up, and he's denied by Michael Hankins of the Storm. All 6'6" of him, as Swick will come back the other way and put that one up, and he is denied.
And fouled.
By Jason Lange of Marian Central, and Swick will get sent to the line.
Swick has made 3 of 4 free throws today.
And the first free throw is made. It's always very interesting when players making free throws. Feels like you'd hear a pin drop in this gym.
It's unlike when you're playing in a home game, an actual home and away game, instead of a tournament. That's when the fans get really involved and make it really hard to continue to shoot free throws.
Swick's second free throw does not land. Gene Grego looking for a lane. He'll find Betancourt behind the arc. Betancourt to Lange. Lange finds Gene Grego underneath. And that pass for Razzo, he puts that up and cannot connect, as Swick comes back fast the other way and puts that one through. And it looks like we will get a and one play, I believe.
It's a good way to putting that little patience on that layup, really to work in down low, and eventually when you're close enough, you do that underhand shot. Perfect way to get 2 points there.
Swick 3 for 4 from the line today. As he will have a chance to extend his team's lead. And he cannot, as that free throw rings out. And Lange with it to McThania, who tries to drive in but can't make any progress. We'll get a whistle.
Looks like it's going to be a blocking foul. Something to keep your eyes on. Streamlet's currently in the bonus, so any foul that Marian Central is going to cause in the game is going to put South Elgin a one-on-one chance.
As Betancourt drives in and takes one and cannot finish the play. I believe he meant South Elgin.
That's what
you said Streamwood.
That's, yes, oh Lord, that's what I meant. I meant South Elgin.
And Betancourt will head to the free throw line. Perfect on the day, 4 for 4. And he's no longer perfect, as I may have potentially jinxed him.
Good old-fashioned announcer jinx, huh?
Happens way too often. And he makes the second one. Makes this a 4-point game, as South Elgin starts to work. And Swick to Williams. Williams drives in, finds Hankins underneath, but he can't quite handle the pass. And that will be out of bounds. Marian Central will inbound.
A little too hot to handle there, as Marian Central will call a timeout.
Both teams in the bonus now, 6 fouls apiece. And it's shaping up to be a fun final 6 minutes played here. Marian Central still behind. We've been talking about it all day. It feels like they are very fortunate to be where they are right now. This timeout brought to you by Darrell Barnes Photography for portraits, family and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Darrell Barnes Photography at darrellbarnes.com. And Patrick, Marian Central, like I said earlier, seems very fortunate to be only behind 4 points on this one. What do you want to see in this one? What do you want to see from them in order to get themselves back into it?
They have to continue taking their time on offense. We're seeing a little bit more of it in the fourth quarter. Slow down the offense a little bit. It's not desperation time yet. No need to force anything, but if you're going to drive, South Elgin's given a lot of fouls. They got 6 in the half so far. You're in the singular bonus right now, so draw contact, go to the line, pick up those free throws every now and then, and before you know it, you're going to only be 1 point down. That's what I got to say for them.
Some hard-hitting analysis there from my trusted friend next to me.
I don't know about hard-hitting analysis, but...
Listen, all your analysis is very hard-hitting. People need to hear it.
Self-proclaimed basketball expert.
It appears there's some sort of mess on the court being cleaned up that is holding up play here.
You know, I mentioned a couple days ago, I'd never seen that happen, at least in this tournament. I've seen it happens all the time in college play, but very rarely have I seen it happen in high school. In all the years I've done this tournament.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
It's the second time.
Betancourt will take it from Marian Central. His second time. Betancourt to McBenney behind the arc. McBenney loses control, and Williams is coming back the other way, only Betancourt to beat. And he'll fake the pass to Swick and put that one up, and that one goes through. Nice little fake pass move there to throw Betancourt off the scent, and it was enough for Williams to put through the shot. As Betancourt will come back, drive in, puts it up, and that goes nowhere as Marzullo takes it back and finds Swick open for 3, and that one lands. And a great sequence there by South Elgin, continuing to pull themselves ahead, and suddenly they've made this a 9-point game.
It's all about the 3. You know, it's not only that too. Williams, great play there, but what's not going to be talked about is capitalizing on a turnover. You saw Betancourt, he threw completely unnecessary shot there. He tried to do a little bit too much, underhand, trying to float it behind. There was 2 guys on him. Falls right hands of South Elgin, and that's where you make him pay. Throw it over to Swick, he can make the 3.
And this timeout brought to you by our season sponsor, Bear Family McDonald's. Proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 30 area McDonald's restaurants today. We have 5:27 remaining in this game, as South Elgin may have just taken the momentum should they need after that. After Williams capitalizes on a turnover and Swick hits a 3.
It's 26 on the day for Swick, 26 points.
He's been having a great day so far. Marian Central looking for a place to go on the inbound pass. Grego taking it back. And Betancourt puts it up for 3, and that one does not land. As South Elgin comes back the other way, that is Josh Gens with it. To Swick up for 3, and that one's off the rim.
A little too far out of his range there. Heat check, as they say.
And the Hurricanes take it back the other way. Lange with a deep 2, and that one does not connect. As Williams will dish behind him to Swick. And Swick will let the offense regroup. Find Gens. Gens underneath to Hankins. Back to Gens. Gens finds Swick. And Vesta. And Swick with the swing pass out to Williams. As Vesta's shot goes up, it doesn't quite make it. Hankins tried on the rebound but couldn't get it done as Lange comes back for Marian Central. Pass out to Razzo to Grego. And Grego with a neat little pass to Bettenker. I didn't even see him pass it. I thought he was going up himself, and then Bettenker put it up.
It's a nice little no-look pass. So that's what I think that's what a lot of what Marian's been trying to do this entire game, and finally it's taking to the fourth quarter for it to work.
And Williams with a pass deep out to Gens. Gens drives in, puts it up, and does not connect. And Marian Central coming back the other way. Bettenker, coast to coast, puts it up. And that one bounces out as we will get a charging.
A charge foul
on
there.
Bettenker. And South Elgin will get a chance to inbound.
That was Elias Cole Williams, all 150 pounds of him, taking 6'5" Christian Bettencourt, all 220 pounds. So 70-pound difference there. Standing tall and taking it.
He took it, and sometimes that's the price you pay. You put your body on the line for the sport. And Vesta with the ball now for South Elgin. He'll dish it underneath to Williams, who thinks about putting it up and then actually puts it up. And that goes nowhere as Bettenker will come back, finds McDenia, puts that one up, and that one's through.
Again, good ball movement there.
The twosome there for Marian Central, Bettenker and McDenia, 23 and 24. And causing all sorts of problems this game. Swick dishes out to Vesta. Vesta back to Swick. South Elgin offense looks to regroup a little bit. As Swick with a neat little pass out to Gens. Gens to Williams, back to Gens. And that pass out to Swick, and he takes from the top of the arc, and that one's through. This guy just can't be stopped.
Safe to say, I think he's the MVP of this game.
It's gotta be. As Bettenker drives in, but then just out to behind the arc, and Gene Grego takes a shot for three, and that one's out. And we will get a whistle as Michael Morris goes down for Marian Central. And
It's a defensive foul there. I'll go to the line for 1 and 1.
Elias Cole Williams will be up on the line after this timeout. 8-point game here. South Elgin up 56-48 with 2:44 left to play in the final frame of this one. And this timeout brought to you by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. If you're looking for a brand new or certified pre-owned, it's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Excuse me, go to rosenhyundai.com and genesisofalgonquin.com. Now, Patrick, South Elgin kind of started to pull ahead a little bit in the past few minutes, and then we've kind of seen a little bit of stalemate, so to speak, between these two teams. What do you want to see Marian Central do if they want to come back in these final few minutes?
You got to double team Drew Swick. That's as great as answer I can give you. On the defensive side, double team Drew Swick. He's got 29 points in the game. 29. That might be the most I've seen anyone in the tournament score in a single game, at least in the games I've called. 29 points. You have to put a man on him. Put two guys on him. As for offense, you want to move fast because, you know, time's running out a little bit. You're down 8, but you also don't want to just start throwing up crazy layups like you've done all game. You got to stop with that. You can't let Bettenker and McDenia, as great as they've been today, drive in there and throw crazy underhand layups that are never going to fall.
I think if you recall in 2018, we had a game where Keenan Cole had 30 plus. I believe that was the most we've seen. But Drew Swick might definitely be.
Yeah, all he needs to score is at least a few more baskets, and he's there.
Yeah, and he's got 3.5 minutes to do it. That as Williams' first free throw lands. Makes it a 9-point game, and he'll have a chance to make it 10. Which he does. And 58-48 with 2:44 left to play. Marian Central try to get something going.
You might try again for a 3-ball. I don't know if you do, because it hasn't been working all day, so why try it? Then again, the opposing argument is, why not?
Dawson Yeji tries to put one up, but is mauled by some South Elgin players and cannot get the shot off. And as a result, he will go to the free throw line.
Looks like his immediate foul on Kendis Wiley. His 4th foul. He's 1 away from fouling out, so keep an eye out on that.
And Yeji with no points in this game so far. And that will be his first. Looked for a second like it was going to bounce out, and then suddenly bounced in. Sometimes that's the way basketball just happens.
As Frank Lavin comes in for
Place of Bettencourt.
Bettencourt.
Yeji's second free throw. Does not connect. And that's Vesta coming back the other way for South Elgin. And he'll find Swick. Swick looking, he'll find Ashby. Ashby driving in, and he can't get that done, but he will pick up the rebound. And Swick will take it. Great play there by Ashby, small guy, but he was able to drive in and pick up his own rebound. As Vesta has it. And Swick, 2 minutes left on the clock. Gens drives in, puts it up, and that one goes through. And that'll put South Elgin over to 60 points in this game. Has a little bit of a miscommunication there. Will lead to an out of bounds on, I believe that was called on South Elgin. As Bettencourt will come back in the game in place of Frank Lavin. And Morris with the inbound pass, and Gene Grego. Gene Grego finds Benny up for three, and he puts that one through.
It's first three of the game. For a team that's done all their work inside, getting that first three down, I know it's late, but it's not over yet.
And hopefully he can continue to put some plays like that up if Marian Central wants to come back. Still down by 8, 60-52 with a minute 44 left to play. And if you're Marian Central's coach, what are you telling them this timeout?
You gotta play tight defense. However, you don't want to foul. You're in a really particular situation. You want to play tight defense because that's worked. Now, granted, it hasn't necessarily worked against the heart of that offense, just Swick it all, but you still want to play tight, but you don't want to play tight enough where you start fouling. Because once you start fouling, you're going to send the team to the line and spun fairly well at the line today. So you're in that situation. You got to play really tight, but you want to back off a little bit. You don't want to foul, but you want to play tight. It's hard, especially in high school, for players to understand that concept.
It's a healthy balance between playing aggressive but not playing too aggressive, especially from two teams that have played very aggressive styles that have led them to fouling quite a bit in this game. And we'll get an inbound look here for South Elgin. Is Brian Vesta. Vesta will find Swick. And Swick passes it back to Gens, who will get it to Vesta. And Vesta gets it across.
And there's the beginning of the fouls. I knew it was going to start coming. You're down 8, you got to foul anyways. So at least give it to a guy who's been, he's 1 for 2 at the line today. He missed one in the first quarter and made one in the first quarter. So it seems like they fouled the right guy for this position here.
Foul anyone that's not Drew Swick should be the
pretty much
there.
At this point.
If you can foul anyone but Swick, you're doing something right.
Swick or Williams, because Williams made 2 here in the fourth quarter, so he's not in right now. So anyone but those two.
And Vesta's first free throw does go in. And it's now a 9-point game. And now with the Hurricanes, the division, but he made both of those. This is now a 10-point game as the Hurricanes look to regroup. And that is McDania puts it up for a deep 2, and that one's off the back of the rim, and Wiley will pick up the rebound. But Bettencourt will get his hands on it as Wiley can't exactly grab it, as Morris puts one up for 3 that doesn't connect. And Swick coming back the other way for South Elgin. Most dangerous player on the court in this game, Drew Swick. And he will drive in, puts that one up, and that one lands, and he adds to his point total.
31 on the day.
And Morris with a deep pass out to Bettencourt. Bettencourt puts it up for 3, and that one's off the rim, as Gene Grego will take the rebound and can't put it in, but he will take his own rebound again, as Jaden Ashby comes in with a huge steal for South Elgin. And Gene Grego will foul Drew Swick there. What a play by Jaden Ashby.
And it comes back to haunt Marian Central. They've had trouble holding on to the ball. They've had trouble finishing. And really, when you look down at the score today, and you might say, hey, it's a little closer than what we envisioned, or it felt a lot farther away than what we thought throughout this entire game. It's important to look at it and say, okay, Marian Central would have been in a better spot if they would have just been a little more patient with the ball and passed the ball a little bit more. Because Bednaker and McNaney, as much as we praise them today, they kind of took over, and they didn't allow their team to pass a lot, and it took a lot of shots that were uncalled for, unnecessary.
As Swig makes both of his free throws, and that'll make it a 14-point game. Marian Central looking for a miracle here, as Bednaker puts that one up and that one lands. And with 36 seconds down by 12, it might be a bit too little too late.
I would say it's probably over. That's my expert analysis will say that. It would need nothing short of a miracle. And it ain't Christmas, so.
Yep, that was a couple days ago. If they were looking for miracles, they kind of missed the mark on that one. And this timeout brought to you by Tom the Plumber. Tom the Plumber Inc. is a family-owned and operated company committed to providing plumbing service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber, honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. Well, Patrick, we've had it's felt like a marathon of a game up here.
Sure
Feels like
have.
it's been a long one. And with 36 seconds left, the South Elgin Storm, our alma mater, may have finally sealed it.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be playing in the Consolation A Championship, which I believe we'll get to call tomorrow.
We will get to
see
call.
our alma mater again.
And it will be against the winner of the last game we called, which was Waubonsie Valley.
Yes. Took us a second there.
Yeah.
It's a little sad. Took us a second.
It's been a while. Like I said, this game has felt like a marathon in and of itself. Feels like that game was so long ago. And some great games to come today. I believe Loyola has Barrington and Larkin has Bartlett, if I'm not mistaken. You want to stay tuned for that. We will not be on the call for that.
We'll hand it over to the experts, the professionals, as I like to call them.
Drew Swick working around. It looks like we'll get another foul.
Look, you can't be, I understand, the game's out, and, I mean, just don't foul. You're just extending the game longer than it needs to be. You're up by 12, the game's over.
No,
For
you're
Marian
doing it.
Central, I mean, you can try, but you're not coming back.
I mean, you're making it look more like a slaughter by just giving South Elgin some free points. Drew Swick probably isn't going to miss many of those free throws if he misses any of them at all.
He's got 34 on the day now. 34. I have to say, I think this is the most points we've seen any player.
I think
in at least our history of calling the game is.
And I'll have a chance to make it 35 here.
Maybe Zach Toussaint a couple years ago or 3 years ago scored more, but.
And he will make it 35. Big game here for Drew Swick. Statement game, one might call it. And that pass goes up to Gene Grego, up to Bednaker, and Ashby takes it. And he will be in alone, and he'll just start to run the clock out a little bit. You know, Jaden Ashby, he's been around the court all day today. Small guy, but really fast.
Yeah, he's 5'7", 110 pounds. When you think basketball player, you're not necessarily thinking 5'7", but he's held his own out there.
He's gotten a lot of solid defensive plays, causing turnovers, and he's been holding his own today, as he will have a chance for a couple free throws, and he makes the first. And a higher scoring game than we're used to here. South Elgin 69.
Nice.
Marian Central 54. And he'll make that 70 for South Elgin. Drew Swig accounting for nearly half of that. As Gene Grego with a deep pass out to McDunney. McDunney up for three, and that one lands.
That was a high arcing shot there.
And he drained it.
I thought that was going to hit. You know, the bar that's attaching the basket to the roof, I thought it was going to hit that.
I'll tell you, it came really close. It looked like it was about to. And we'll get another timeout, it seems, with 5 seconds left. South Elgin comes in and takes care of Marian Central, 70 to 57.
I think we could call it.
No, I'm saying the score.
Oh, I thought you
could
were saying
change.
barring any changes.
No,
I
the
think
score.
Marian
The
Central's
score could
gonna
definitely change,
lose.
but the winner is definitely not. There's no chance of that.
It's been a fun tournament, you know. Being back up here, this is the first time in 2 years. Is it 2 years?
It's
2
been
years.
2
2 years
I had to.
since we got to call the game together.
Yeah, I had to miss a day back on Thursday. I was under the weather that day and was not able to make it. But I'm back here today and feeling better than ever.
Here we go. That's what we like to hear.
And we will be back tomorrow around the same time for some more.
Yeah, I believe the Constellation C, B, and A title games we'll get to call.
Hoping for some fun basketball there as Swick will
Playing
hold on
for
to the ball for
trophies.
South Elgin and
For some hardware.
he will let the clock run out. Give that game ball to Drew Swick, because man, he deserves it. What a game for him in the South Elgin Storm, 70 to 57. And just, Patrick, you have it on your sheet. 35 is the final count for Drew Swick. What do you have to say about what we just saw?
Domination. That's his greatest thing I can say about it. Domination. Straight domination by the Storm. Domination by Drew Swick on defense, on offense. 35 points. Enough said.
And after this, we will have the Royals face off against the Ramblers of Loyola Academy. But that's it for me and my good friend Patrick Harrion here. A special thanks to all of our game sponsors: Bear Family McDonald's, Custom Heating and Cooling of Chicagoland, Rosen Hyundai, Tom the Plumber, and Daryl Barnes Photography. And a big thank you to all the men and women working in the truck to make this production possible. And with that, we are going to turn it over to the pros. This is Logan Franz for my partner, Patrick Harrion, and we will see you tomorrow.
This sports broadcast made possible by contributions from the following. This sports broadcast made possible by contributions from the following. The Bear Family McDonald's, proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 30 area McDonald's restaurants today. Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or certified pre-owned? It's Rosen Express online buying made simple. Go to rosenhyundai.com or genesisofelgonquin.com. Tom the Plumber. Service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber. Honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com. And Daryl Barnes Photography for portraits, family and graduation photos, sports team photos, and more. Contact Daryl Barnes Photography at darylbarnes.com.